Hello Aquarius, I am Ulrich, I'm a Lenormand card reader, and today we will do your spiritual philosophical card reading for the month of April. These cards are more a kind of guides. They give you advice how to proceed in your life. They give you certain directions in life, how to proceed. So we will just get along with it with the card reading. Anyway, here we go, Aquarius, for your card reading for the month of April. Hello. Excuse me. Hello, Aquarius, and welcome to your spiritual philosophical card reading for the month of April. As your first card here, we see the card that we should go back. What does this card tell us? Well, we all develop an ego. This happens since we were a child. There are certain circumstances. There are our parents. There is our education. All circumstances in our life, it shapes us in who we are. And here we see that the ego, the personality that you have, it probably leads you to a dead end. It's like you're in the maze, you don't know where to go here. Maybe there are certain lines of thinking that lead you around. You're getting nowhere. This is what we are seeing here. Sometimes Aquarius, they are a sign of the mind. They are always thinking. And sometimes they can be quite stubborn once they made up their mind. Sometimes they are unwilling to change their mind, even if it leads nowhere. And probably this is a kind of situation where you're in a kind of dead end, in a deadlock here. There are certain choices here that you made in your life before that maybe were good, but maybe not this time they don't serve you anymore. You know they don't lead you anywhere, and maybe we need to implement some changes here. We need to reflect if this is really the way that we want to keep going here. If you see that the direction is wrong, you need to ask yourself, is this really the direction that I want to continue? If you see that the answer is obvious, this card tells us to go back. We need to ask ourselves, what did you give up that was important before you? Here also, there are certain inner truths that you are aware of that you are ignoring. You don't want to see them properly with this card. And if you're honest with yourself, you will see that the path that you have chosen is very difficult, and probably it don't lead you where you want to go. As we see, we are in the maze here. It's possible here that our ego, our personality, it downplays here the importance of being sincere. Normally, Aquarius, they can be quite sincere and quite direct, but maybe you have covered or closed your own eyes. And it's important here with this card that we are sincere towards ourselves here. Here we see that maybe for the moment now, it's a necessary tool for your personal survival. This could be in a psychological or in a physical way for moving ahead. This is what we are seeing here. And it's possible here that here we see here, sometimes we need to distinguish ourselves also from the herd mentality. Sometimes in these current times, a lot of people follow the herd. What is given to us by governments, implemented by governors, we follow it blindly. But somewhere in yourself, you know this is not the path to go. Sometimes the crowds or the herd, it can be like it's in a kind of psychosis. It's almost like they are it's almost like the crowd is hypnotized, and you know there is something wrong, and you see there is a hypnotizing going on, but you need to be yourself here. You know this path is wrong, and you know that this path is not going anywhere. Anyway, this card tells us also it's not too late to take a step back. So you can still turn things around and get back on track. So seek the support here of people who are like-minded. It's important here, like-mindedness. We come in the age of Aquarius, soon we are there. And it's important that we are looking for a soul family, like-minded people. this doesn't mean your own family necessary. It's possible that there are some souls in your family who are like-minded like you, but this is actually about our soul family, people who think in the way in our own line. And it's important here that, that we are courageous to find these people and to align with your own spirit and with theirs. So we need to be steadfast here and diligent in choices that we are making, because you're the only one who can make these choices. You have the power here to interfere or go with it. And this card advises you to go against what you're seeing and what is happening. It doesn't mean that you need to be violent. It means that you need to go in a different path. We need to change direction here, because this hypnotizing condition that a lot of people in, it makes us drift away from ourselves here. And it's important here that we rely back on the groups and the people who think like-minded for go in a different life in general. The next card that we are seeing here is that we need to look forward to the future. Aquarius can sometimes be very into the future. They sometimes can make predictions that are long before their time. They can invent things that are long before their time. They can see futures that are long before its time. And here we see this. We see that we need to look ahead of us. But also you see here the person, he carries a backpack. We cannot forget what we have learned, especially if in the last years, many of us had a hard time, and we need to remember these lessons. We had similar lessons in the past, but sometimes these things appear in a different jacket. So it's possible that you see some similarities around you and you think, but this is like that or that. This is exactly what you are seeing. Things are coming back. And it's time here that we move forward. It's possible here that sometimes we need to pull ourselves up by thinking in the good old days. But in a way, we know they will not come back. So we need to deviate from the plan. It's possible that for now, your ego, it sees very few options. But if you are really Aquarius, you will see that there are endless possibilities. You just need to go inside yourself and trust yourself. Our ego, sometimes it looks for problems and it sees ourselves as a victim, but we cannot see ourselves as a victim. Many people during these times, they have good intentions, but it doesn't mean that because they have good intentions that the outcome will be good. That is something totally different. So if you belong or you come in a certain group of soul people, and these groups have the same opinion as you, it could be that you go in a kind of community or different direction that is totally different what governments or people in charge dictate. Here we see that probably we will go in a total different direction. It's like here, our higher mind and the collective mind, it wants to seek solutions. And these solutions could be quite before their time. You need to remember, however, that the past, it's ancient history and we can only learn from it. But it's a lesson, it's, as I said here, it's a repetitive lesson. We had this lesson before. Humanity had this lesson before. And Aquarius is about humanity, the best for everybody. But maybe we ignored the lesson. We didn't want to see it. And here we see that the future is not yet written. And it can still become what you want it to be. So we need to be optimistic, enthusiastic here, and see there are possibilities here. There are things here in store for the future, and we should stop limiting ourselves, our own perspectives. So I know it's a cliche, but really you should think positive here. And if you see things, think in a different way, doors will open for you. We are actually free from the past. So if we say we don't look back, we move ahead, we don't need to. So don't look back here. You should watch here with your higher mind and your heart. This is what we are seeing here. And what you will find there could be very important for yourself, for the future, and for people around you. We never know here. We see the person, he's walking up the mountain here, he or she is walking up the mountain, and we never know what is beyond the corner. It means here, this is also a card that is leading to a prosperous future if you want to see it or if you know it's there. The next card that we are seeing here, we need to let go of certain things of our life. Probably this relates to what I mentioned earlier here, to the backpack that the person is carrying here. Our ego, it likes to hold on to the past. Sometimes this is old ideas that we are holding on, old ways of life, and we like to reapply here, but it brings only suffering if we go back. Maybe before we were in a state of suffering, but we didn't realize it. So the question is, do you want to go back as it was before, exactly in the same conditions? You need to see if this is what you want, or do you want some changes? Here we see that there are possibilities. This is also the card of possibilities. Here we see that we are distracted from our real path. And sometimes also we cannot live in the moment because we are focused on the past. But here we need to focus our attention to what is about to come. And here it means probably that you are holding on to a whole story, an old story of your life here, and it's clinging on to you. But here this card asks you, is it not time to let go of the past? This is what you need to ask yourself. Maybe it's time to let go of the past and focus in the present moment and in the future. And here we see that there is a bright present, but also a future is waiting. So we need to pay attention here, what is in front of us. This is important here that we do with these two cards. So notice the sounds, certain colors, certain feelings, and also the people around you, how they interact, especially if you come in a different group of people that are like-minded. If you look at it in a different way, it's like you're wearing glasses and you look in the mirror and you see, these glasses don't fit me anymore. They're still out of my teenage or whatever period. It's time I change them. And this is what this card is about. If you want, this could be the deciding moment that makes a change in your life for the better. Because here we see that we are risking out the best. We are risking out to go in an important step of our life. We are here, we are in a difficult situation that we stay as we are. So we should not, because here we see we are locked and we need to look around the corner. This is what we are seeing here. So watch out for this here. Try to reorient your life, try to connect with people who are like-minded, and try to focus your mind on the now and in the future, and let go on what is bothering you. We can be nostalgic at the right time, but sometimes we need to let go of the past. This is what this reading tells us. So Aquarius, this is all for this month. I hope you get a little bit wiser out of this philosophical spiritual card reading. If you did, thank you for doing so. Also, if you have interest in the classic Lenormand card readings, I do also classic Lenormand card readings for the sign of Aquarius. You can find them also on my channel. And of course, we have the philosophical financial card readings, who are also financial guides for your life. Anyway, Aquarius, thank you for your time, and we see each other next time. And of course, thank you for subscribing. See you next time. Bye-bye for now.